Hello, my name is Terry Jewett, and welcome to this season of Kids Quiz. This is a show of quick recall. It is not a test of intelligence. At home, it will seem easier. Let's enjoy this evening as our contestants attempt to answer the questions, and you at home know all of the answers. Now we'll meet tonight's teams from Ashland Middle School, 8th grade. Their principal is Mr. Hyman, and their teacher is Ms. Dirtle. Let's start with the red team. Please introduce yourselves.
My name's Cameron Thompson, and I'm going to have to go with my social studies teacher, Mr. Vance.
My name's Charlie Reed, and my favorite class is geometry.
I'm Tony Williams, and my favorite class is math.
And here are the members of the blue team.
I'm Tyler Portner, and I like Spanish class.
I'm Jeremiah Swope. I like English.
And I'm Emily Ermintrow, and I like geometry.
Thank you, team members. Now let's get started. We're going to start this evening with the red team. Red team, you'll have 10 questions. Get your buzzers ready. Question number 1. How many prepositions are in this line? I first came upon Bobo one day when I was out walking on a country road.
2.
2 is correct. Question 2. What are the next two terms in this sequence? 9, 14, 20, 27, 35.
(44 and 54).
That's correct. Question 3. A composition for a single voice or instrument is called a
Solo.
Solo is correct. Question 4. 10% of 14 equals
1.4.
That's correct. Number 5. What country has the shorter common border with the United States?
Mexico.
Mexico is correct. Question 6. What U.S. president had an earlier career as a commander of the Union forces in the Civil War?
Ulysses S. Grant.
Ulysses Grant is correct. Number 7. What English noun was derived from an ancient Greek work that literally means terrible lizard?
Dinosaur.
Dinosaur is correct. Number 8. What is the percentage of peanuts in a can containing these nuts? 50 peanuts, 36 cashews, 64 almonds, 50 pecans.
25%.
That's correct. Question 9. When it is summer in California, what season is it in China?
Winter.
Summer is the correct answer. And your final question for round 1, red team. Complete this syllogism. A new broom sweeps clean. This broom is new. Therefore,
This broom sweeps clean.
it sweeps clean. And now we're going to move on to the blue team. Blue team, question number 1. The manifestation of disease such as fever, rash, dizziness, and pain are called
Symptoms?
symptoms is correct. Question number 2. Express as a Roman numeral the number of members of the U.S. Senate.
CC.
The answer is C. Question number 3. What figure of speech is in this line? Carrying a grudge is like being stung to death by one bee.
Simile?
Simile is correct. Question number 4. Millie ate a large plateful of bad clams a few hours ago and now has an uncomfortable queasiness in her stomach. Name that feeling.
Nausea.
Nausea is correct. Question 5. The functioning of what paired organs depends on action of the diaphragm?
Lungs?
Lungs is correct. Question 6. The body was cut open and the heart, lungs, and other organs removed and kept in separate jars. The brain was pulled out through the nose. The body was then filled with natron, stuffed with cloth, and rolled in bandages. What were the ancient Egyptians making?
Mummies.
Mummies is correct. Question 7. The Titanic rests at the bottom of what ocean?
Atlantic.
That is correct. Question number 8. Convert 29/5 into a mixed number.
5 4/5.
That is correct. Question 9. Which group of musical instruments requires the vibration of the player's lips to make the air in the instrument vibrate?
Brass.
Brass is correct. And your final question in round 1. How many fiddlers did old King Cole call for according to the rhyme?
3.
3 is correct. And that just concludes round 1. We'll be back with our score in just a minute.
Hi, Mr. President. My parents believe that eating meals together will make our country strong. Is this something that you did when you were a kid?
I did eat with my family so long as my mother wasn't cooking.
It's not good making fun of your mother, even if you are president, but it is good to have dinner with your kids. We know the more often children have dinner with their families, the less likely they are to smoke, drink, and use drugs. So simply having dinner together can help your children forever, even if you're not a great cook.
My name's Andy McDonald. I ride this useless wooden toy for a living. It's hard. I've been doing it for 13 years. I'm still lame. I do a trick called a 540. Took me a good 6 years to learn. There's a whole generation of skateboarders out there that are just as talented athletically as any basketball or football player. It takes somebody that's not going to be afraid to fall down a lot, because you definitely will fall down. You're not a failure until you refuse to get back up. Drugs are only going to hinder what I'm trying to do. That right there is my idea of getting high.
You're a good driver, a careful driver, and you don't stand a chance. Not at a railroad crossing with bad sight lines and no lights or gates, where vegetation, buildings, or hills block your view, where you can't see the train and you only have seconds before it hits your safe, careful self and you die. Go to angelsontrack.org to report dangerous crossings, because careful is just no match for a 200-ton locomotive.
Does peace really have a chance within our lifetime? At Rotary, we believe it does. We've created programs at universities around the world, dedicated solely to teaching peace to a new generation. There's a new symbol for peace. Rotary.
Welcome back to Kids Quiz. Our score after just one round is the blue team 9 and the red team 8. It's a close match. We're ready to begin round 2. We'll start with the red team. What heavenly bodies are relatively small objects with nuclei no more than 1 or 2 kilometers in diameter and are composed of frozen carbon dioxide, frozen methane, frozen ammonia, water, ice, and dust?
Comets?
Comets is correct. Question number 2. Established in the late 1940s, what is the world's only Jewish nation?
Israel.
Israel is correct. Question 3. In Alice in Wonderland, Alice's cat is named...
Cheshire Cat?
Good guess. The answer is Dinah. Question 4. When George Washington became president, he selected Thomas Jefferson, Henry Knox, Alexander Hamilton, and Edmund Randolph to be members of an advisory group called...
Cabinet.
The Cabinet's correct. Question 5. These are communities in what state? Pahala, Hanukkah, Wahiawa, and kapa?
Hawaii?
Hawaii is correct. Question number 6. Rattlers and cottonmouths inject venom through what specialized teeth?
Fangs.
Fangs is correct. Who left Venice, Italy in 1255 and crossed the Mediterranean en route to Peking?
Marco Polo.
That's correct. Question number 8. 3 babies delivered at the same time are called?
Triplets.
Correct. Question number 9. What number completes these cliches? It's just blank of those things. It takes blank to know blank.
1.
1 is correct. And your final question in round 2. What are the prime factors of 21?
Three and 7.
3 and 7 is correct. Now on to the blue team for round 2. Blue team. Name the freedom under which people may write and publish their thoughts in books, magazines.
Freedom of the press.
That is correct. Question 2. What adjective should be capitalized in this line? In his many travels throughout Peru, John had never seen an Inca ruin or a Black Panther.
Inca.
Inca is correct. Question number 3. What is the only evidence that geologists have that these creatures ever existed? Trilobite?
Fossils.
Fossils is correct. Question number 4. The biographical excerpt refers to whom? One day when he was working on a practical lamp for his newly discovered electric light, he found it necessary to get the cubical content of an irregular glass bulb.
Thomas Edison.
That is correct. Question number 5. What common tiny bird can hover in still air and also?
Hummingbird.
Hummingbird is correct. Electricity can be dangerous, and precautions must be taken against 2 kinds of electrical hazards. These include shock and?
Electrocution.
And fire is the other answer. Question number 7. This is about whom? The Philadelphian was equally effective as a printer, editor, man of letters, inventor, scientist, philosopher.
Benjamin Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin is correct. Question number 8. Round 2,447 to the nearest thousands.
2000.
That is correct. Question 9. What is a synonym for salinity?
Salt. E.
That's correct. And your final question for round 2. What black drawing material is composed mainly of porous carbon?
Coal.
The answer is charcoal. And that concludes round 2. Again, we have a close match, and we'll be back in just a minute with the score.
Look, my first tooth.
Dudley, spit out the toothpaste. That was the first time you brushed your teeth.
And I brush twice a day, every day.
Oh, here's that nice dentist, Dr. Benchley.
Yep, he showed me how to floss.
Why are your teeth blue?
I use my mouth guard whenever I play sports to protect my smile.
And visit the dentist regularly.
Remember, brush twice a day and floss once a day.
Parents, there's something you can do to protect your kids from drugs and alcohol. Combine ground beef with egg, tomato sauce, breadcrumbs, and spices. Bake in an oven-safe pan at 350 for 50 minutes. Serve hot.
This is Jamie Lee Curtis. Children who eat dinner with their families are less likely to smoke, drink, or use drugs. So, have dinner together every day.
Delicious.
A message from CASA, the National Center on Addiction and Substance Abuse at Columbia University.
Here's something to think about.
New research shows that regular exercise and a heart-healthy diet may help to reduce the risk of Alzheimer's disease. Thinking ahead now might make all the difference tomorrow. For more ways to maintain your brain, visit the Alzheimer's Association at alz.org.
Salam.
Jam.
Salam. Ewa.
Ride.
Apa pa?
Pa.
Mir. Shanti. Yep, sangyok di.
We all want the same thing.
Peace.
And Rotary clubs
Sola.
are making it happen.
Lucky.
Through international scholarships for young people to promote peace and understanding around the world. Rotary. Humanity in motion.
Welcome back to Kids Quiz. We're here with our Ashland Middle School 8th graders, and I said it was a close match, but we actually have a tie. Both teams have 17 points. We have a few new members to introduce. Let's start with the red team.
Hey, I'm Haley and I like English.
I'm Bethany Corbett and I like math.
And blue team?
I'm Crystal Reynolds and I like math.
Good. All right, thank you and welcome. Well, we're ready for our final round, the deciding round. Let's go to the red team. Red team, question number 1. What is the prime factorization of 90?
Three times 3 times 5 times 2.
That is correct. Question number 2. By concealing soldiers in an enormous wooden horse, the Greeks entered what city?
Troy.
Troy is correct. Question 3. How many syllables are in reticent?
3.
3 is correct. Question number 4. What kind of number results when the fraction 1/7 is converted to a decimal? We get a repeating decimal. Question number 5. During what century did the American Civil War occur?
19th.
The 19th is correct. Question 6. It is a scavenger bird that feeds on carrion, small birds, rodents, bird eggs, insects, fruits, and seeds. It mates for life. Name this large, black, overgrown crow.
Vulture.
The correct answer is raven. Question number 7. Water from 31 states and 2 Canadian provinces drains into what river system?
St. Lawrence River.
Mississippi is the correct answer. Question number 8. What is the greatest divisor of these numbers? 14, 28, 35, 49.
7.
7 is correct. Question 9. What is the total number of moons that orbit the 3 planets closest to the sun?
Zero.
1 is the answer. And our final question for the red team. According to the adage, what should you do if the shoe fits?
Buy it.
Wear it is the correct answer. Good job, red team. Now on to the blue team. Blue team, question number 1. Those American Indians who built their apartment-like houses high in the sides of canyon walls are called?
The Pueblos.
Cliff dwellers. Question number 2. 1/3 of 21 yards is how many feet?
21.
That's correct. Question number 3. The sounds of what 2 letters are alliterated in this line? Again the stream slowed into long, langy stretches sparkling in the sun.
S and L.
That is correct. Question number 4. Silverware becomes discolored or dulled when exposed to air. This phenomenon is called?
Oxidation.
That's correct. Question 5. Who wrote the autobiography, The Education of Henry Adams?
Henry Adams.
That's correct. Question 6. Meteorologists refer to a gentle air movement as a?
Breeze.
That's correct. Question 7. The bud on a potato is called an? Go ahead.
Eye.
That is correct. Question number 8. Making the best use of and protecting natural resources is called?
Conservation.
That's correct. Question 9. Part of the southern boundary of the U.S. is formed by what river?
The Rio Grande.
That's correct. And your final question, Blue Team. Satellites large enough for people to live and work in for extended periods are called?
Space stations.
That's correct. Nice job, both teams. We'll be back in just a minute with our final score after we've had a tie after just 2 rounds. Let's see where we are.
I joined the National Guard and never thought I'd be saving lives.
I never thought I'd have such an impact on my community.
It's more than money for college. It's built my character and given me a sense of accomplishment.
Citizen soldiers have 2 missions. One is right here at home during emergencies.
The Guard opened the door for me. Now I'm on a career path, and I'm the leader of my team. When your country calls, you go, proudly.
I put on the uniform, and I have a whole new outlook on life. Country, community, family. That's what matters most to me. If that matters to you, go to 1-800-GO-GUARD.com.
My name is PFC Eunice Guerra. What I like about the National Guard is I can be, gung-ho and go out there and do, really awesome things, stuff that, civilians, wouldn't understand. And then I get to go home and, put on a pair of jeans. And I wanted to be a civilian and then turn around and be a soldier.
Defend freedom. In the Army National Guard, you can. Visit 1-800-GO-GUARD.com today.
When will the next natural disaster hit? A public health crisis strike? Another terrorist threat emerge? How long will it take for help to arrive? Ohio Citizen Corps is committed to making every minute count by having volunteers ready. Physicians, nurses, teachers, retirees, everyone can help. You can make a difference. Join Ohio Citizen Corps. Call or go to serveohio.org. The time to prepare for trouble is before it hits.
Welcome back to Kids Quiz. Our final score after 3 rounds was Blue Team 26 and the Red Team 22. Thank you, Ashland Middle School 8th graders, for being our competitors this evening. And thank you at home for joining us this evening for Kids Quiz. Please tune in next time for our next session of Kids Quiz. Good night.